All right, thank you so much. Wonderful introduction. I always wanted to participate in the Olympics, but no chance there. So I'm happy to be able to participate in agile swarming. It's a good second, I suppose. And yeah, my apologies to the people in the first row. I have a cold. You will too in a few hours. It was terrible weather in the Netherlands, storms and rain, and the flight was delayed by 2 hours. But I'm glad to be here. So I'm going to drink a lot of water probably in this session. So how many managers or team leaders do we have in this room? Let me see some. Oh, oh, you poor souls. So sorry to see that. Oh my God. There we go. Because most of you have no clue what you're doing, basically. Neither did I. When I was a manager, when I was a team leader, I had no freaking clue what I was doing. I knew how to work with computers, because I was a software engineer, and computers always did what I wanted. People did not. Very annoying giving them instructions. It doesn't work. Programming software engineers, forget about it. But I learned other things in my career as a team leader, then development manager, then chief information officer at a company in Rotterdam, about how to work with people instead of computers. For example, big tip: everything is easier with food. It's not the case with computers. It is the case with people. So, for example, I once organized a dinner at my place with random people from my company. I literally had a spreadsheet of names of all 200 people. I randomly selected an account manager, project manager, HR person, 2 engineers, DevOps, and so on. And they came to my house to cook dinner. And I had the recipes ready in the kitchen. I fetched all the groceries, and when they arrived, I said, "Surprise, you do the cooking." Ha 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 ha. They didn't know that, that they were supposed to cook. But they had a lot of fun. This was a fantastic night. I did it 6, 7 times actually, where the project manager volunteered to do the main dish, and then the software engineer said, "Okay, well, I will do the appetizer," and then the system administrator, the DevOps person, said, "Okay, I will do the dessert." But of course, being a system administrator, nobody was allowed to touch the chocolate without permission. I got questions from the rest of the organization. "Hey, when is it my turn to come eat at your place? I hear we're supposed to cook for ourselves. That's crazy." But I like this example because it shows what leadership is. It shows what management is about. You create an environment that is safe for people to be productive with each other. You don't tell them exactly what to do, because there are recipes, they can help each other out, and so on. And then together we enjoy the results, whether they are good or bad. We're in it together. I had a very important role. I was pouring the wine. That's a leadership role. That's a leadership role. So I manage the system. That is what I often say. I don't manage the people. I manage the system around everyone. And I nurtured the happiness with wine. That helps. I made sure that everyone was happy. And another thing I learned is that people should have a reason to celebrate when there's when things go well or not. I once discussed that with my CEO back at the time. I said, "We're always so busy running from one project to the other." Excuse me. And we never have a chance to enjoy our achievements. He said, "Okay, what do you suggest?" I said, "Well, maybe something like a bell or whatever that we can ring in the office." And then I forgot about our discussion. 2 weeks later, he came to my desk with this bell, this ship bell. I had no idea which ship he stole it from, but it's an actual ship bell. And then whenever something happened in the company that was worth celebrating, like a new client, yay, or someone had a baby, yay. That was not something our company did, by the way, baking babies. That was just, it could happen. And then everyone in the company heard it because it made a huge fucking noise. You couldn't ignore it, and then everyone knew, oh, there are probably cookies and cake. Run to the coffee machine to learn what there is to celebrate. And then everyone gathered, and the person who rang the bell explained what there was to celebrate. Yay, applause, cookies, cake. And then 15 minutes later, everyone was back to work. Work magic, they still have the bell there. 15 years later, I checked recently, I was there, the bell is still there. And I was proud because I introduced that idea. It's now become part of the company culture of that organization. And that is something that leaders do. They add things, they tweak things in the company culture that makes it a nice place to be. It is a bit of playfulness, ringing a bell and everyone running across the office. And the playfulness is needed to have people run experiments, try things out. Because this is important in an unpredictable environment, that we have to accelerate learning, the pace at which we learn to work with new tools, work with different people, and so on. We have to try things. For example, I have tried, and with success, of running teams, running companies with no contracts. I hate contracts. I don't like contracts. I don't use contracts. I send statements of work, which is just a statement, literally, of the work that I'm going to do. This is my promise to you. My clients don't need to sign it, whatever, because I don't care about contracts. I work on the basis of trust. And also with the people that I work with the freelancers, who cares about contracts? I want to trust everyone. This is how they feel about that. Very happy that we don't sign contract with each other. So I try things, and that doesn't work everywhere, of course, but it works in my part of the business. And I do these things because I want to innovate. I want to innovate as a leader, as a manager. I want to make things better, and I have a purpose. I want to invite people towards something better to make for our clients, and that requires us to innovate continuously. And I sometimes call these the 7 silver bullets, because there's not one silver bullet to have better management, better leadership, but there are 7. And this is sort of the summary. I'll give you more examples in a moment, and you'll see that they're all examples of these 7 bullets, basically. Now, I know there are lots of managers in the room, and I understand most managers have a problem with color. When things are too colorful, it's like, oh my God, I cannot deal with that. So I see people taking pictures, make sure you also take a picture of this slide, which is easier to explain to your CEO, okay? With proper bullet points, buzzwords, and something going up. It's very important to have something on your slide going up. If you want to convince your CEO, make sure there's a picture of something, a line going up. That's very, very convincing. So, all right, I'm going to give you more examples of the 7 silver bullets. In the meantime, I'm going to drink a couple of glasses of water. So I've been working with online teams, remote teams, for 15 years already. Because I traveled around the world so much. And one thing I noticed was it is very difficult to understand other people if you're not having coffee with each other each day. So I thought, why not create mind maps about ourselves and with each other of our hobbies and our family, friends, and our goals in life and education and so on. This one I made 10 years ago. It has changed in the meantime, obviously. And then I asked my teammates, my remote teammates, to do the same thing. Make a personal map, and then we're going to talk about them. And that was fun. So this one was Lisette. She's now a good friend of mine, and she's crazy. She used photos. She's a very visual person, so she used photos. Okay, fine with that. And this one is by Hanu. Hanu is from Finland. You can see that because there's almost nothing on the personal map. People from Finland are very, very sparse with their communication. Yeah. They have to, because the words are very, very, very long in the Finnish language. My name is Hanu. I'm from Finland. Awesome, Hanu. Where in Finland? Helsinki. That's finished communication. I love it. It's like finished design. There's no need to waste space with crap. Right? Same with language. This one is by Sergey, the software engineer, of course, as you can see. Obvious. And then we have others from, I did this in workshops, Dave and Terry. People have very colorful personal maps now and then. Julio, an engineering manager, of course, you can see that. You can see that right away. You don't even have to read the words. This was an experiment, something that I tried. Let's mind map ourselves, and then talk about this. And it was fun. And then that team still uses personal maps as an onboarding ritual for new employees. They say, "We want to see your personal map, and we're going to ask you questions about it, and you can see ours, and then you can ask us questions, and that will be fun." Another thing that I noted is that when there's pride on teams, people would like to show off a little bit of what they have done before. And I'm like that too. I mean, hey, come on, I'm a human being. So when I get a compliment, by Carol in this case, your art and ability to capture ideas visually is fantastic. Just scrolling through is a buffet for the brain. I love it. Carol must be a poet. A buffet for the brain. Oh, awesome. And this one from Hamed in Iran. My greatest thanks for your astonishing book. Every page I read makes me wish to become a manager someday. Oh my God, no. Don't do it, Hamed. Don't do it. So those are compliments that I get for writing. This is a photo I took of a restaurant where I was in the US, a Persian restaurant. They had photos of newspaper articles and ratings and about the restaurant because they were proud. They were one of the best Persian restaurants in the Bay Area. This was at a games company. I have no idea where it was, but apparently something related to games. I have no idea what this robot in a tutu is supposed to be, but hey, they're proud of it, so why not? Just show it off. I have my own show off, of course, because these are the books that I have produced. They're right behind me when I make a Zoom call. I mean, every time I have a Zoom call, they're all behind me. Bit of showing off. The books and the translations. The Polish version of Management is over here. Lots of Z's. Yeah, I can do Polish now. Yeah. So I call that work exposition. Allow people to have some pride in what they're doing. Make a little bit of space for that, where they can put the awards that they won or the compliments from customers. Just print them out and put them on the wall. Yay, we got a compliment. We're so happy about that. Or the online rating of the product. Hotels do that too. If they have a 8.9 rating of booking, then print on the wall, and that helps people feel good about the work that they do. A very popular practice that I introduce is about delegation. Did you know that management is actually from the word maneggiare, which means leading horses? Isn't that fun? Working with your people is working with horses. You're not supposed to sit on them, by the way. It's not exactly the same thing, but the analogy is interesting. Because a horse is a living system. It's not a machine. You don't just tell it what to do, because then it won't. It has to trust you, and then you have to nurture and feed the relationship. I love that. But many managers are pretty bad at giving and taking of control between them and the horse. The team is the metaphor for the horse, basically. Because the team often does not know where the boundary is. What can we do for ourselves, and what are we not allowed to do? We need some clarity on that, I discovered, because a lot of confusion in the world about the boundaries of the team. What decisions can they make by themselves, and what is it that the manager should be doing? And delegation is not a binary thing. We have dictators and we have anarchists, but there's a lot of room in the middle. It's not just flipping a switch. So I created a 7 levels of delegation for that. Level 1 is just tell. That is you being the dictator. So, I need you to do this. You have to do that. Sometimes this is necessary. Like, for example, the Virgin logo is always red. You cannot have one of the 400 Virgin companies decide, we want to have a pink version. No, you can't. It has to be red. The top management CEO says it must be red. It is this logo. You use it like that. That's the law in the company. Okay, fine. But some rules are like that. Sometimes you have to sell an idea. Like, I really would like you to do this. By the way, you have to, but you try to listen to the concerns and maybe take those concerns into account. But you're still in control, basically. Level 3 is consult. What is it that you think I should be doing? What is it that you think I should be doing? What is it that you think? It takes a bit of time. This we'll be ready in about an hour, I think. What is it that you think I should be doing? And so on. And then you collect the input, and then you make a decision. So it leans more toward the team, but you're still in control. But you ask everyone first. Level 4 is agreement, consensus. This is, I call it the typical Dutch approach, because I'm from the Netherlands. I know what I'm talking about. Consensus. We talk and talk and talk and talk until most people have died. And then the survivors make the decision. Amazing. Because some people just, oh, I give up. I give up. Just do whatever. This discussion is so painful. I don't care anymore. Just let any decision is fine. If we just stop talking, that's the Dutch strategy, basically. Level 5 is now it leans towards the team. Now the team makes the decision, but they ask input from the manager first. And level 6 is they do whatever they want, but you inquire. So what is it that you did? Just sell it to me, basically. And level 7 is delegate. They are completely in control. They do whatever they want. They're professionals. They know better than you. Why even bother them? Because that's why you hired them in the first place. Now, you see, those are 7 levels. It's not a binary flip. You can transition from one side to the other. And it's a symmetrical model. I like that, because this 6 is the opposite of 2. It's the same thing, but in the other direction. That shows a respectful relationship between the manager and the team, or the leader and the horse, you could say. And the nice thing is you can visualize this too. You can make a delegation board, as we call it, have the 7 levels of delegation, and then horizontally and vertically, the key decision areas. What about vacation days? Well, you can tell the manager, the team leader, what you want, but ultimately the team leader decides according to this board. But you can also put it here. Now the team leader makes suggestions, but ultimately the team themselves decide. That's possible. Depends on the maturity of the team. I have lots of pictures from different organizations. This one is from a Dutch company. Very strange, very strange. They have salary delegated over here until level 6. So the team decides for themselves how much they get paid. But seating is decided by the manager. You sit there. You sit there. No, you cannot sit there. You have to sit over there. You can decide what your salary is among each other, but I decide who sits where. Very strange company, but I don't know. Very good. This one is from Poland. Imagine a new level 0. Fantastic. But probably I'm not even going to tell them what I've decided. Screw them. Very Polish. Now that I'm in Poland, what does this mean? Because I have no freaking clue. Raises. Salary raise. Yeah. I'm not even going to tell them what their next salary is. They will discover it on their bank account. Brilliant. This one is from Germany. Complicated. But very impressive. This one was from my team a number of years ago. There's a game, online game, Delegation Poker, that you can play. You can download the card yourself from the website, the Management 3.0 website. It is very popular in Management 3.0 workshops. And it shows that, as I said, it's not, you don't have 2 choices between dictators and anarchists. There are steps in between. Actually, most decisions are there somewhere in between. and you have to figure out together what the best place is to put the fence for the horse. So that's delegation boards and delegation poker. There's something else that I learned in Poland, actually, which is about kudos. This is about rewards. I love this quote by Alfie Kohn. You know how it is with people who get rewards, like CEOs and getting bonuses, for example. No matter what CEOs do with their companies, whether the company is a fantastic, huge success, or they completely wreck and bankrupt the company, they will get their bonus. No matter what, they will make sure that they get their bonus. Why? Do rewards motivate people? Absolutely. They motivate people to get the rewards. It's very cynical, but very true. This is how rewards work. It doesn't mean that the rewards actually are good for the company. The company could be left bankrupt behind them, but hey, the CEO got the rewards. Ta-da. And it's the same for all people. CEOs are just people like everyone else here in this room. We love our rewards. I mean, you were talking about marathon. I saw an article about people cheating in marathons. There was an athlete who took the bus. It's fantastic. She took the bus to the finish because she wanted the reward. Yay, I have the reward. Yeah, but that was not the point of the marathon. Anyways, so a couple of rules for rewards. It is best if you don't promise the rewards in advance. Because when people know that there's going to be a reward, instead of focusing on the marathon, they're going to focus on the medal that they get if they finish it. Then maybe they're going to take the bus because that's easier. So if you want a CEO to do well for the organization, and you tell them this is the bonus that you're going to get, instead of focusing on making the organization perform well, they're going to focus on that bonus. It distracts when you give people a reward and when you promise it. And that's also rule 2. When the rewards are anticipated, when people know that they get a reward, make it small, like just a token of appreciation. I mean, I did a marathon once, yes, last year in the Netherlands. I barely survived. I'm still here, but I have the medal to show it. I mean, it's a useless piece of metal. But I have it. It's pride. I can show it. Never again, I can tell you that. It was quite a painful experience. But it's a small reward, and then it can work. And it is also good to reward people in a business context continuously. Why only once per year? It is better to make sure that the rewards on a weekly basis. In every retrospective, make sure that there are some people rewarded for things that they have done in the previous iteration or the previous sprint. It's also good to reward publicly, not privately. This is a bit controversial because some people do not like to be on stage, as I am. I love being on stage. That's why I'm here. But some people don't like that the spotlight is on them and, oh, they got a reward. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, but we want everyone to show what you did well, so that you are now a shining example for others. You need that in an organization. So be public about it, and reward also behaviors, not only outcomes, because sometimes people really, really did a great job, but sadly something in the environment happened that made it all fruitless. Well, they still did a great job, so that is worth complimenting. It's not their fault that it didn't work out sometimes. So in those cases, a reward as well. And finally, enable peers to reward each other. Because if it's only the managers who hand out rewards, what happens is you create a power distance between the teams and the managers. Because then the managers are the ones handing out the rewards. Yay, look at me being powerful here. I have the rewards in my bucket. And I decide when you get the reward or not. It is better if you give the bucket to the team and say, well, there are only a couple of rewards in there, so make them count. Give them to each other somehow. People love that, I can tell you. So 6 rules for rewards, all on the backed by science. Actually, there are scientific reasons for this. And I found one practice here in Poland a good number of years ago, which was the kudo box, the kudo wall. It's very simple tokens of appreciation. You have a thank you note, you write it for someone, and you give it. And then with the kudo that you offer, the company maybe adds a little present, like a box of chocolate or a flowers or a movie ticket or something. That's where I found it, in the company where I was a long time ago. People could give each other compliments, and then the company would add a little gift, because that's the kudo that you received. They had a box, it literally was called the kudo box, that people put the thank you cards in, and then once per week the cards were read out loud in the organization. Other companies have walls, kudo walls, where people put the cards on a wall. It's also nice, makes it very, very colorful. You can download these cards from the Manage 3.0 site and print them yourselves, or you can have your own versions. I have seen other organizations adapt the cards, very smart, and have checkboxes here with the company values, for example. That's a smart idea. So when you give someone a compliment, you can tick off honesty, or customer service, or whatever, something that we find important at the organization. You just gave a shining example of that, and I give you a compliment with a kudo card. Brilliant. Kudo cards and kudo boxes is what I found here in Poland. So let's talk about happiness for a moment. Does success lead to happiness, or does happiness lead to success? A bit difficult. There's a bit of disagreement there. Sean Aker says, we know that happiness is the precursor to success, not merely the result. He wrote The Happiness Advantage. But Phil Rosenzweig said, does employee satisfaction lead to high performance? Probably, but the reverse effect is stronger. But he called it satisfaction, not happiness, which is almost the same thing, but not really. So it is a bit complicated. I think it's a virtuous circle. They both lead to each other. Happy people do better work, and if they do better work, it makes them happier. And this goes on and on and on. That sort of makes sense. Now, despite the complexity, it is a simple fact that happy people are more productive. So it is an easy sell to anyone in top management. If you make sure that you have a happy workforce, you can get more out of them, so to speak. They will do more. It's pretty obvious. They will be much more productive, so why not? So I did a bit of digging around. What are the things that make people happy in their jobs? Now pay attention, because this goes fast. Thank someone every now and then. That's the kudo cards. Give something to another person, a little gift. Help someone who is in need of assistance. Eat well, make healthy foods available in the office. Exercise, work out, maybe run a marathon. Rest well, sleep sufficiently. That makes people happy. Experience new stuff, try out new things. Hiking, just get out of the office building. Meditation and mindfulness practices. Socializing and help with other people. Aiming for a goal, a purpose in life. And smile whenever you can, even when you have to fake it. Those are the 12 steps to happiness. Says, I found all of this backed by science. All of these help people be happier. The last one, smile, yes. If you just paint a smile on your face, then your facial muscles will trick your brain into feeling happier, and then you're actually going to feel happier. Isn't that awesome? You can just make yourself happier. Just smile. I'm so happy. That actually works according to research. So I did some of that. I saw a company in Spain, best workplace in Spain. They had a meditation room, an alegría room, happiness room. They literally call it the happiness room, where you could meditate and do yoga exercises, whatever, whenever you wanted. Some people used it to sleep. It's also fine. I took my engineers back then. I took them out of the office into the garden, in the sun, for code reviews. They thought it was a bit weird. I said, you print those classes and interfaces and objects and whatnot, and we're going to get out into the fresh air and do code review over there in the garden. They were like, what's that thing up there? I said, that's the sun. They had never seen it before. That's the sun. Don't worry, it won't bite. Just sit under the tree. That's what you get when you get engineers out of their caves. And they like that. It made them happier. So the 12 steps to happiness are, I think, very important to understand for manager. You can contribute there to have a happier workforce. So, but then one of my favorite and one of my most controversial practices is this one. I had a team and for years, the Manager 3.0 team, freelancers from all over the world. All of them got paid a regular amount, but we also had some extra money available every now and then. And we discussed, what about bonuses? Yeah, what about bonuses? I hate this mechanism where at the end of the year, people get a significant bonus, because then everyone's going to focus on that bonus and it's going to distract from everyone else. And then there's usually a disappointment because it's always less than you expected. And then people have already spent the money before they even received it. And it just makes everyone annoyed and mad at the managers. And that was me. And I thought, okay, everyone's going to be mad at me for the bonuses not being high enough. So I don't want that. Some people say you should just pay everyone the same all year long, no bonuses, and that's it. Okay, nice, very socialist idea, but doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because most people think they are overperformers. 70% of drivers think they are above average drivers. Makes no sense. Even amongst March people, they measured it. 90% of university professors think they are above average university professors. Now, these are professors. They should understand the concept of average and 50%. But no, 90% think they are above average. It's the same with people on teams. Most people think they are better than the average. So when you pay everyone the same amount, what will happen? That most people will think they are underpaid. It will not be true, but hey, that's very human to think that they are better. So you need some compensation for it. You need to show people that actually how you think about yourself should be a bit more modest because of the input you get from other people. That's why I introduced merit money. I offered small amounts, small bonuses, but at random moments throughout the year. And it happened as follows. Each person on our team got 100 points every month, 100 points. And then you were supposed to get rid of those points for complimenting others. Like, I gave you 10 points because you saved the web server that I crashed last night. Ooh, so sorry about that. But thanks for helping me out with that. And someone else, you give get 5 points for helping me with the review of this stuff, and you get 50 points for that, for covering my ass when I had to get my kids from the daycare or whatever. And so everyone gives each other points, and then you end up with total. So the 100 points are all given to other people. That is how much you were appreciated by others on the team. That's going to be a reflection for the bonus money that you're going to get from your peers. Because this builds up, and at the same time, we also have bonus money that becomes available from the profit, and that builds up over time. And that's every now and then we're going to decide who gets how much. Well, for that, we have the following idea. Once per month, we're going to roll a dice, and when there's a 6, we pay out the bonus. No 6, no bonus. Very easy.
Okay, dice.
Oh, come on, big money, big money.
Anyone give it a kiss? Come on, lucky dice. We love you, we love you. Oh, it's a 6.
No way!
Can you see? Can you see that?
So there was a 6, so the bonus money was paid out. If it was not a 6, the bonus money is still there. It just rolls over to the next month. So it's like a jackpot that gets bigger and bigger and bigger until someone rolls a 6. Fantastic. It was like we had our own Las Vegas casino on our team. Yeah. And the beauty of it was that Excuse me. Apologies. The beauty was, it was unpredictable when we get the bonus money, so nobody could focus on the bonus in December. We had no idea when the bonus money would be paid. That was a good thing. So it was kept a surprise. In the beginning, it was not high enough. It was a small amount. But if they didn't roll a 6 for a year, yeah, that was a problem. Then they got bigger and bigger. Then it got a big jackpot. So they introduced a new rule. After 12 months, it has to be a 6 or a 3, because we have to flush the jackpot. Because theoretically, it could keep on building forever, and that was not a good thing. So the team loved that, and that's another experiment that I ran as a manager. Last two ones quickly, because then I want to leave some 5 minutes for questions. Sometimes companies talk about values. Like I found this a long time ago on a company's website. Our values are responsibility and sustainability. Yeah. Volkswagen. Dieselgate. This was on their website. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. German humor, I think was about that. So yeah, it's important to have values, purpose and value, but you actually have to live them. And some companies actually make an effort with handbooks, culture books. This is an old one, an old example in this slide deck of Zappos. I was at the company in Katowice, where they had a video. They made a video with employees. Why do we enjoy working here? And they used that video for recruitment. There was a cultural video. They actually made employees recruit other people. What do you love working? What do you love working about this company? Well, that we have our kindergarten on site, for example. Well, the company takes care of our kids. Well, that's a unique selling point. Those things that they were proud of. So make a book, make a video. Some companies organize value days where everyone gets together once per year to talk about the values. What are the examples, the actual behaviors that we can show of us being a great company to work for, where we actually live the values that are on our website, and where we're not just pretending like Volkswagen did back then. Because the culture of any organization is shaped by the worst behavior that the leader is willing to tolerate. If something bad happens and leaders do not intervene, then that is going to be the baseline of your culture. It's also the opposite, by the way. The culture of any organization is shaped by the best behavior the leader is willing to amplify. So that's your job. Anything good that happens, put the spotlight on that. Oh, we love more of that, and we love more of that. And this is a great example of a company values. So we put you in front of a camera and we'll let you talk about that, because this is what we're going to use in our recruitment videos, for example. I have this on my website, very simple, with my team. I want them to try shit. Oh, no, try things, it says. Try things, add value to everyone else, and be fair. That's just it. Just do crazy things. Make sure you're valuable to someone, but be fair, always. And I don't need more from my team. That's values and culture. The last one before the question is the celebration grid. When is it the time to celebrate? Should we celebrate success or should we celebrate failure? How many people think we should celebrate failure? There are failure conferences all over the world. Which it's good to celebrate failure every now and then. Let me see some hands. Celebrate failure is good. Is an okay thing. We failed. Yay! Party. Ooh. Okay, I saw a couple of hands go up. How many think no? It's better to celebrate success. I believe in celebrating success. How many hands there? Okay, a few more hands. Okay, yeah. How many of you think we should just celebrate everything? Success, failure, party all the time. Yeah. All right. Okay, I saw a couple of hands go. Not as much as in Brazil. That was like yeah. So Polish people are more like no. Let's not celebrate. No, life is bad enough as it is. So this is celebration grid that I made. It's good to celebrate good practices. Us doing good things, that it makes sense to celebrate that. But it usually leads to success, but not always. Sometimes good practices fail. You did well, and still it didn't work. Pity, well, that's just life. Mistakes, doing stupid stuff, that usually leads to failure. But, and I'm very good at that, being an idiot and getting away with it, it is possible. You do something stupid, but it works out. I could write books on that, I can tell you. In the middle, we have experiments. You don't know if it's a good practice or a bad one. That's why you want to find out. That's an experiment. It's in the middle. It could be a success or it could be a failure. That's the whole point of finding out. It turns out that learning is optimal in the middle. When there's a 50-50 chance of succeeding, failing, and you don't know what it will be, then your learning rate is optimal. You learn so much from the experiments. You learn very little from repeating good practices. You learn very little, not at all, from repeating mistakes. You already know that that's stupid. You learn from good practices going wrong. Aha, so this good practice does not work in this situation. That's something I didn't know. And vice versa. This stupid thing is actually a good thing in this case. Ah, I also didn't know that. Now, when we celebrate failure, which is a big thing, we celebrate this part. Well, that doesn't make much sense because that includes this. This is no reason for celebrating. You're doing something stupid that was predictably bad. No reason to celebrate that, of course. This makes sense. Celebrating success, yes. But if that is the only thing that you do, when the only reason you ring the bell is for successes, you basically push people in that direction. You nudge them to only do the good practices, because the chance of success is higher. So there's bigger chance of cookies and cake and compliments if we play it safe with good practices. But then who is going to run the experiments? So it is important that we learn, that we innovate. Those are the 7 bullets at the beginning, remember? So it's also good to celebrate experiments, the things that people tried, no matter whether they were successful or not. Networks are very good, social networks, at running experiments. Hierarchies are very good at repeating good practices. They're also very good at repeating mistakes, by the way. And we need a bit of both. We need an experiment, and we need a hierarchy and network in an organization for the experiments and the good practices. So celebrate, oops, that was a bit too fast. Celebrate successes and celebrate learning. Those are the 2 reasons for celebrating. We did something well, or we learned something, and that is worth ringing the bell. This is called the celebration grid. People use it as part of retrospectives, put sticky notes on there. You can put it on a whiteboard and let the new experiments flow in, and then once we experimented, they either become successes or they become mistakes when we're going to repeat them. Some people print them even with sticky notes on them, super cool. And this is an example of a Dutch company. You can see that because they finished almost before 5 o'clock. Yay, done, finished. That was very, very timely. So celebration grids, and I guess those are examples of the seven bullets. You can find all of that in my book, Managing for Happiness. It was called Workout in the past. One of I self-published it, and then it was published in the US by an American publisher, Managing for Happiness. And I have 2 minutes left for 2 questions.